In today's video, I'm going to show you exactly how we achieved a dramatic look for this luxury baby stroller brand. This project started when I got an email from another agency with a client we've helped out in the past. The agency's client is a Taiwanese luxury stroller company coming to the US market. We've done several lifestyle and product shoots for them in the past, including one in downtown Philadelphia. This time, they were looking for a special product shoot for their most expensive luxury stroller. The photos would be for a landing page. They wanted a really cool effect to showcase the stroller's glow-in-the-dark feature, where as you scroll down, it goes from the dark with the glowing to the light, but still dramatic look. I've always wanted to do this premium, low-key lighting look, so I immediately said yes. And after getting a shot list and a cost per image approved, it was time to see if we could actually pull off this effect. Before we get started, please hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you never miss a video. First, what exactly is low-key lighting? Low-key lighting is a technique where the majority of the scene is dark and the emphasis is on creating deep shadows and bright highlights. As you can see in the example images that the client liked, there were a lot of shadows and edge lighting highlighting the contours of the product. This lighting style is often used for premium products as it gives a perception of luxury. We didn't have much time to prepare for the shoot because of the tight deadline. Thankfully, we had a 12-foot roll of black paper that we bought for another shoot last year. This is exactly what we needed for the background. The agency provided a shot list based on the notes from the client. My camera of choice for this shoot was the Canon 5D Mark IV. It's probably the best 30 megapixel DSLR I've ever worked with, and it still has a better dynamic range for RAW photos than most of Canon's recent mirrorless cameras. To get the compression we were going for, we were at 200mm on our 70-200. For lights, we had a mix of Godox and Nanlite 300 and 150 watt LEDs with a couple of Aperture MCs for accent lights. More on those accent lights later on in this video. We created the dark environment with the black backdrop and one top key light and very minimal fill light from a lantern. After lots of tweaking, we found that putting the softbox slightly behind the subject tilted forward helped to keep the light from spilling on the background and blowing out the top of the stroller. We also tried to keep the rim light from spilling on the floor as much as possible. To show off the glow-in-the-dark effect for the stroller and to sell the cool transition from the glowing to daylight, we made sure never to touch the camera. Then all we had to do was to kill the lights and drop down the shutter speed to capture the glowing. We shot a couple test shots before lunch and then sent them off to the client for review. The client wasn't sure just from seeing the test shots how it was going to work, so then we created a video fading between the two photos and sent that to the client to review, and they loved it. One thing that we felt the test shots were missing was some rim lighting in the glowing shots so that we could still see where the background ends and the stroller begins. That's where the Aperture MCs came in, and they almost ruined the entire shoot. Keep watching to find out how. When we're taking such high resolution images, we really have to pay attention to the details. When we set up the strollers, the canopies had a ton of wrinkles, but with the help of a borrowed steamer, we got those wrinkles smoothed out and we dusted the stroller. After about 4 hours of setup, we were finally ready to start knocking out the shot list. And that's when we ran into one of the first big challenges. Because we didn't have much notice for the shoot, we didn't have a UV light for the glow-in-the-dark shots. So we had to rely on sunlight or blasting the stroller with our LEDs. This took up more time than I was expecting. We ended up with 34 images to show the client. As soon as we wrapped, I brought the photos into Lightroom and almost immediately realized we had made a big mistake. When trying to highlight the edges of the stroller, we chose an accent color to complement the glow-in-the-dark, not realizing how that was going to make it almost impossible to see what was glowing and what was the accent light. Ultimately, I had to desaturate the images and then mask back in the glow spots. And you can see some of the results here. Next, the photos were uploaded to a site called Pixieset for the client to review and mark their favorite. Out of the 34 images, the client chose just under 20 photos. The client's pics were then cleaned and the background extended on the wide shots to give the agency some more room for reframing. Then the photos were exported and released to the agency. Overall, it was an awesome experience. We enjoyed challenging ourselves, and yes, there are some things we'd do differently if we had more time to prepare, but the best pros are the ones who are the best at adapting to unforeseen situations. And the end result was one that everyone was really happy with. If you found this behind the scenes video helpful, tap that like button and leave a comment down below with your product photography tips. Thanks for watching.